An asteroid named Agatha 616 heads towards Earth. All nations unite to launch rockets at it. The asteroid is destroyed, but it releases chemical compounds that rain down on Earth, causing animals to mutate into huge, aggressive monsters. Within a year, Earth's population drops by 95%, forcing survivors into bunkers, caves, and panic rooms. 7 years later, Joel lives alone in a bunker, surrounded by couples. He avoids surface trips due to his lack of combat skills, focusing instead on cooking, milking their cow, and documenting monsters in his diary. The group switched to axes and crossbows after running out of bullets. One day, while Joel practices with a crossbow, the bunker loses power, and they discover monsters have breached their security. A few men venture into the tunnels to confront the monsters, while the rest monitor their progress on the sensor system's screen. When the group encounters trouble, Joel grabs his crossbow and joins the fray. As Joel explores the area, he unexpectedly encounters a monster devouring one of his friends. Paralyzed with fear, he becomes the creature's next target. But just as it is about to strike, Joel's companions intervene and kill it. In a flashback, Joel reminisces about his time with his girlfriend Amy before the apocalypse. They shared a moment together after he drew a funny portrait of her, but their reunion was cut short by an alarm warning of the approaching asteroids and rocket debris. Now, Joel stays in touch with Amy and other bunkers using a radio to coordinate and maintain contact. Today, Joel shares with Amy the heartfelt letters he wrote for her, but their conversation abruptly ends when Joel's radio malfunctions. This triggers a flashback where Joel and Amy bid tearful goodbyes, exchanging declarations of love before parting ways with their respective families. Back in the present, Joel queries his companions about Amy's settlement, discovering it's 85 miles away. They warn him that surviving outside for 7 days is impossible. Disregarding their warnings, Joel resolves to abandon hiding and search for Amy. As he ventures outside, he encounters remnants of the old city scattered amidst overgrown vegetation and roaming monsters. After walking for hours, Joel hears a monster nearby and seeks refuge inside a house. However, his sanctuary proves temporary when he opens a refrigerator, startling yet another monster, forcing him to flee into the garden. Suddenly, a colossal mutated frog emerges from the pond, attacking Joel with its elongated tongue. Joel narrowly evades the attack and tumbles beside a dog, who bravely barks at the frog. Seizing the opportunity to escape, Joel tries to flee, but the frog swiftly ensnares his leg with its tongue, causing him to stumble. Helplessly, Joel finds himself being dragged towards the frog's mouth. Just as things seem dire, the dog bites the tongue, freeing Joel from the amphibian's grasp. With the frog momentarily distracted, Joel takes off running and follows the dog into an old bus, where the clever canine secures the door with a rope, a testament to its training. As the frog searches the area for them, Joel surveys the bus and realizes it used to be a hideout for the dog and its deceased owner. The dog, named Boy, holds onto his owner's clothes as a comforting reminder of them. Joel spends the night in the bus and wakes up to find Boy ready to accompany him. Boy even brings some of his owner's clothing, which Joel carefully stows in his bag. As they journey through ruined cities and overgrown forests, Joel and Boy enjoy each other's company, occasionally playing together, though Boy isn't adept at catching things. However, he proves invaluable by preventing Joel from consuming poisonous berries. During their exploration, Joel inadvertently falls into a pit filled with bones, indicating it's a nest of monsters. He hears creatures in the tunnels and narrowly evades an attack, uncertain of his ability to defend himself. Luckily, a rope suddenly drops into the pit. Clyde and Minnow, who are responsible for the rope, swiftly pull Joel to safety just as worms emerge from the hole. When a monster leaps out, they dispatch it with a katana and eliminate the remaining creatures by tossing in a grenade. Afterwards, the four of them set off on their journey together. Minnow patiently teaches Joel how to use the crossbow, while both she and Clyde impart survival skills. They share their plan to head towards the mountains, a region too cold for monsters to thrive. Their journey hits a snag when they encounter a massive snail monster. Clyde cleverly places Joel's shirt in its shell, hoping the monster will carry Joel's scent and divert attention away from them. The snail peacefully continues on its way, potentially acting as a decoy for other monsters. Clyde and Minnow advise Joel that a monster's disposition can often be discerned through its eyes. As they camp for the night, Clyde shares insights about different types of monsters, which Joel diligently records in his journal. Over the following days, the group continues traveling together, during which Joel improves significantly with the crossbow and expands his knowledge of monsters and survival, documenting everything in his journal. Eventually, they reach a point where their paths diverge. Before parting ways, Clyde and Minnow present Joel with a grenade as a parting gift. Joel and Boy continue their journey together until they reach a swamp that Boy refuses to cross. As Boy seeks refuge under a duck-shaped playground structure, Joel hears a noise, and suddenly a massive centipede monster emerges from the ground. Joel readies his crossbow, but the centipede knocks him down. The monster then encircles the duck structure with Boy inside, triggering memories of a tragic day. Joel recalls a car accident where his parents were trapped, urging him to flee while he watched a monster kill them before he was rescued by survivors in a truck. The centipede uncovers Boy under the duck, prompting Joel to take action to prevent further loss. Joel aims and shoots his crossbow, fatally striking the centipede in the head with an arrow. Later, as rain begins to fall, Joel and Boy find shelter in an abandoned building. Inside, they encounter Mavis, a robot with only 51 minutes of power remaining. Using her GPS, Mavis shows Joel that he's just 10 miles away from Amy's colony. Robots were a novelty before the monster outbreak, so Joel had never interacted with one until now. Mavis uses her radio to assist Joel in finding his way. Mavis helps Joel connect with Amy, who reassures him about her well-being. Amy explains that other survivors have arrived and will soon rescue the entire colony. However, their conversation is cut short when Mavis's battery nears depletion. With her final moments of power, Mavis accesses her social media database, showing Joel pictures and videos of his family. Overcome with emotion, Joel embraces Mavis as they watch glowing jellyfish drift by. When Mavis finally powers down, Joel gratefully gives her a respectful burial. The following day, Joel and Boy continue their journey, but nearly stumble into a large pit. Boy bolts away as Joel spots a queen sand gobbler emerging from underground. To distract the creature, Joel throws a toy and flees with Boy, but the queen sand gobbler gives chase. After a frantic dash through the woods, Joel trips over a stick and tumbles down a hill near a river, accidentally dropping Boy's owner's clothing into the water. Seeking cover, Joel and Boy hide behind a hollow trunk as the queen sand gobbler comes dangerously close. They remain silent until the monster finally moves away. Spotting the clothing in the water, Boy jumps in to retrieve it, drawing the queen's attention. As the monster charges toward them, Joel swiftly grabs a grenade from his bag and hurls it into the queen's mouth before diving into the water himself. The explosion kills the queen, averting disaster. Emerging on the shore, Joel discovers he's covered in leeches. After removing them all, he angrily scolds Boy, blaming him for the queen's attack and causing the dog to flee. Determined to press on alone, Joel soon begins hallucinating due to the leech's venom. He sees a plant Clyde had taught him about, an antidote, and eats it, which clears his mind just in time to see a group of people approaching. To Joel's surprise, it's not a hallucination. It's Amy and other survivors, brought by Boy. Overjoyed, Joel kisses a woman he mistakes for Amy, and then passes out. When he awakens, he finds himself in Amy's bunker feeling much improved, only to learn he actually kissed a different survivor. Amy explains that their colony was discovered by a yacht crew led by Captain Brooks, who plans to relocate them to safety. With everyone busy preparing to leave, Amy has little time to spare. Exploring the bunker, Joel observes the colony's routines and their proximity to a beach. He meets Dana, Rocco, and Captain Brooks from the yacht crew. Later, when Joel finally gets a chance to talk privately with Amy, he is devastated to learn she moved on, believing Joel had perished. She had begun a relationship with another survivor who tragically passed away last year. Afterward, Joel tries unsuccessfully to contact his own colony. Examining a map they provided, he discovers supportive messages he hadn't noticed before, leading him to realize he left his beloved family behind for what feels like nothing. At that moment, Joel's radio finally connects with his colony, and they express pride in Joel for surviving. They also mention there have been multiple briefings, but before they can elaborate, the communication abruptly ends. Joel resolves to abandon the yacht idea and return to his family. As he prepares to leave, he discovers poisonous berries hidden in the food they provided him, revealing the crew's deception. Hurrying to warn Amy, Joel finds her drinking with the other survivors, intoxicated by Brooks's homemade beer. Before Joel can speak, Dana knocks him unconscious. The next morning, Joel awakens to find himself tied to a barrel alongside Amy, realizing all the survivors were captured while intoxicated. Dana destroys the radio tower, and Brooks apologizes, revealing their true intentions. In the chaos, a brawl ensues. Amy manages to regain consciousness and fights Dana, landing a few blows, but ultimately being overpowered due to Dana's experience. The situation worsens as the crab monster also awakens and begins wreaking havoc on the colony. Boy confronts the monster, prompting Dana to shoot, but Amy intervenes, causing Dana to accidentally strike the crab instead. Amy seizes the element of surprise, overpowering Dana. Before she can act further, Brooks intervenes, knocking Amy down and ordering his crew to retreat to the boat. Meanwhile, the crab continues its rampage. Boy evades the crab's attacks to reach Amy, licking her face to wake her. Brooks aggravates the crab with electrical shocks, prompting it to roar at Joel. Joel notices the monster's weak spot in its mouth, but is captured before he can exploit it. Amy retrieves the weapon Dana dropped and passes it to Joel. Ready to strike, Joel hesitates when he looks into the crab's eyes and realizes it's being manipulated by an actual monster. Instead of attacking, Joel shoots the chain, freeing the crab. Grateful, the crab releases Joel and leaps into the water, swiftly reaching the yacht, where it devours Dana, Rocco, and Brooks, causing the yacht to capsize. With everyone safe, Joel bids Amy farewell with a hug, leaving her his journal so she can understand more about the monsters. Despite not becoming a couple, Joel appreciates the journey as it has shaped him into a stronger person. Over the next 7 days, Joel and Boy continue their journey, using their newfound skills to survive. Eventually, they reach Joel's colony, where they are warmly welcomed. Joel uses the radio to send a message to all the other bunkers, sharing survival tips and inviting them to join them in the mountains, where the cold keeps monsters at bay. Joel, Boy, and their fellow survivors set off to reunite with Clyde and Minnow. Soon, other colonies follow suit, eager to forge a new life together.
Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell icon, and stay connected with us.